Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Hare Krishna, welcome to our channel, Bhagavad-gita. Here it is, because here it is, the Bhagavad-gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and my name is Labangalatika. So we're reading Bhagavad-gita, and we have entered the 7th chapter, Knowledge of the Absolute. And of course, in one sense, it's all knowledge of the Absolute, the whole Bhagavad-gita. Bhagavad-gita is a little bit like a hologram. You know, any part you look at, it kind of contains everything. But in order to study it and understand it, we like to study all of it. And going through the first 6 chapters has prepared us to come to this point where we get some very helpful information and also some very helpful, points of focus, how to remember Krishna. So I'm reading text 7 in the 7th chapter. And this is also a very nice verse to learn by heart, to meditate upon. Yes. Matta paratarang nanyat kinchirasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidang protang sudremanigana iva. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, as pearls are strung on a thread. Yes, so when you see a pearl necklace, you can admire the beauty of the pearls, the symmetry, the harmony, the way they are resting around the neck. But you also know they are not just sitting there on their own strength. They are strung on a thread. Without that thread, they wouldn't be there. So with this world also, we look at everything, and everything is quite fantastic. I don't know where this comes from, but I heard someone say, either you see everything as a miracle or nothing as a miracle. Everything is quite miraculous. Like, how can we have teeth? How can the teeth survive in the mouth? Because the mouth is so full of these acids and like the saliva breaks down the food that enters into your mouth. But how is the teeth resisting that? Because Krishna made it like that. Krishna made it in such a way. So many things we look at. How can the sun rise and set? How can the food grow? How can the water, how can rain come from the sky? How can everything come together? Because all these wonderful things that we see, they are resting on the thread of Krishna. And everything that we don't see that makes it possible, that is Krishna. Purport. There is a common controversy over whether the Supreme Absolute Truth is personal or impersonal. As far as Bhagavad-gita is concerned, the Absolute Truth is the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. And this is confirmed in every step. In this verse in particular, it is stressed that the Absolute Truth is a person. That the personality of Godhead is the Supreme Absolute Truth is also the affirmation of the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. That is, the Supreme Absolute Truth, personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna, who is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. These authorities leave no doubt that the Absolute Truth is the Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. The impersonalists, however, argue on the strength of the Vedic version given in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Tatoya dutaratarang tad arupam anamayam yat etad vidur amritaste bhavanti athe tare dukkam eva piyanti. In the material world, Brahma, the primeval living entity within the universe, is understood to be the supreme amongst the demigods, human beings, and lower animals. But beyond Brahma, there is the transcendence, who has no material form and is free from all material contaminations. Anyone who can know him also becomes transcendental, but those who do not know him suffer the miseries of the material world. And that's actually the problem with the Vedic literature and the Vedic knowledge. It is very vast, and you can pick up from one corner or the other, and without knowing the context or the thread. Here's one thread. Krishna is the thread, the pearls are strung on that thread. But the Vedic knowledge also, it goes in a certain, how to say, line. We start at some point, and then it builds up, and then it builds up, and then it gives us what we need at that point. And depending on how far we are prepared to go, or how far we are invited, we get more or less of a complete understanding. So many things are there, but without the connecting understanding what they mean, it becomes a little confusing. I have memory of picking up a very small Bhagavad-gita when I was younger from the library, translated into Swedish. So I'm speaking English, so I can't really do that. But we have this Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. But Uvacha also means singing, because Bhagavad-gita Gita means it's a song. And an old Nordic way of saying that, it's a word, this is really stupid. I say it's in the English version and I don't have the right word. Anyway, this word, it said that the Holy Lord, the word that is used is sometimes in an old-fashioned way means singing, but in a more modern way, if you use it, it kind of means that you're whining. I'm thinking, why is he whining? Does he have a stomach pain or something? I could not pick up even Bhagavad-gita. Bhagavad-gita is not such a complicated book, but without the connection to the author, to the translator, without Prabhupada pointing out things that are maybe easy to miss when you're not part of the culture and we don't have that upbringing, I really didn't understand anything at all. So here we have this world and we have these Vedas that are such vast knowledge, but these specific points that come up here and there, without understanding the context and where they are pointing to and how to apply them, it is not unusual to get a little bit confused and drawing not the right conclusion, missing the point really. The impersonalist puts more stress on the word arupam, but this arupam is not impersonal. It indicates a transcendental form of eternity, bliss and knowledge as described in the Brahma Samhita quoted above. Other verses in the Svetashvatara Upanishad substantiate this as follows. Vedaham etang purushang mahantam adityavarnang tamasa parastat tameva viditvati mrityumeti nanya pantha vidyate yanaya yasmat parang eruparam asti kinchit yasmananiyo no jayosti kinchit vrikshaiva stabdho divitishtatyekas tenedang purnang purushena sarvam. I know that Supreme Personality of Godhead who is transcendental to all material conceptions of darkness. Only he who knows him can transcend the bonds of birth and death. There is no way for liberation other than this knowledge of the Supreme Person. There is no truth superior to that Supreme Person, because he is the supermost. He is smaller than the smallest, and he is greater than the greatest. He is situated as a silent tree, and he illuminates the transcendental sky. And as a tree spreads its roots, he spreads his extensive energies. From these verses one can conclude that the Supreme Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all-pervading by his multi-energies, both material and spiritual. So yes, you have a word like arupam, and rupa means form, and a is a negation. And then if you don't know the context, you can just think, oh, it means the Absolute has no form. But actually, this is also used to differentiate between material form and spiritual form. Because material form means a material body, means it's temporary, means it's going to die. And it will cause, in the meanwhile, it will cause so much problems. And by not being Satchitananda, by not being eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, it will give us difficulties. So the Supreme is never like that. So these verses are sometimes a little poetic or a little indirect. But if you have the whole context, if you start from the Bhagavad-gita, if you actually find a teacher that comes from this line of disciplic succession and speaks the same message as Krishna, because many people will read the same book, But if they're not on point on Krishna's message, then that will not help us understand Bhagavad-gita. We have the Bhagavad-gita, we want to take full advantage of Krishna's instructions, and we don't want to be confused or misled. So therefore it is quite important that when we study it with sincerity, that we take help from somebody who is established in this tradition, who has this firm standing in Krishna's point of view. Because you can take the Bhagavad Gita and turn it into something else. And we don't want to do that. We want to be Krishna conscious. We want to hear what Krishna wants us to hear. We want to understand what Krishna is telling us. And here Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. This is 5,000 years ago. They're already good friends. Arjuna already has a very good cultural starting point. He starts off at a point where many of these things are already known and understood, and then Krishna is directing him more specifically how to be Krishna conscious and how to be Krishna conscious, why to be Krishna conscious. So there is never a question of anything else in the Bhagavad Gita, and if you find something else, it's usually more a question of an interpretation. And of course, we're living entities, we are thinking beings. We read something, and of course we have to run it through our own intelligence. But if we take the help of Krishna and Srila Prabhupada to be on the right track, this will be very helpful. So, yes, Krishna is always a person, and we are always the living entity that are dependent on him. But especially everything in this world is resting on Krishna's on Krishna as pearls that are strung on a thread. And yes, I want to leave you with that image, and whatever you see and whatever you think about, whatever you look up to and admire, and whatever you look forward to or desire, try to consider how Krishna is behind that. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. We have new episodes up every Tuesday and Friday. Links in the box if you want to find your own Bhagavad Gita or a Hare Krishna temple. And please leave any questions you might have. There's plenty of room in the comment field. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.